Hello,
Hello,
everybody. Uh,
everybody.
everybody. I'm Theo Black,
And I'm Sarah Black.
and you can probably see Luna's tail like just at the edge of the screen.
I can't. There we go.
There you go. Tail, Luna tail. Anyways, all right. So this is the second week of November. Yeah, well, the end of the second week, I guess. We are still making our way through Marilyn Monroe, and we actually did extra movies this week because we knew that at least one or two of them we wouldn't necessarily have a lot to say.
Yes.
So
And
we've
speaking of that, like
speaking of that, let's just jump right on into Monkey Business from
this is
1952. Not whatever that other Monkey Business is. That's I think
yeah,
later and has some comedians in it or something.
I thought it was earlier in Marx
Maybe it's
Brothers.
earlier. I don't know. I know there's a different Monkey Business out there, but this is the Monkey
Yeah.
Business that stars Cary Grant and Ginger Rogers, and also has Charles Coburn and Marilyn Monroe in it, who will be featured later in our Gentlemen Prefer Blondes discussion. They're not. I guess they're like. She's like billed fourth, and Coburn is billed third. Although they're not really. I mean, they're I guess supporting cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will do my best. Here's the description of it. Cary Grant is a doctor working on a youth serum. I mean, he works on chemical stuff, trying to make good potions, and he's doing a youth serum, and it makes you go a little nutty as well as youthful at the same time. And he tests it on himself, like he's found it, and it's this thing he's found, and he tests him on himself, and it makes him wacky. And then his wife, played by Ginger Rogers, tests it, and it makes her wacky. And that's the movie, except there's a small twist because it's actually the monkey that he was testing things on who's made this potion and put it in the water cooler on accident, or just I don't know, it was a monkey doing monkey things. And that's the movie.
Okay, so I take blame for this. No one talks
I
about this
knew you were
movie.
gonna say that. I like predicted that a couple minutes ago, and I'm like, it's okay. I really don't blame you, but I was just
But
like,
here,
oh, Sarah's gonna say that.
I want to explain my reasoning for it. So
For sure.
I have this thing with Marilyn Monroe movies that she's not often cast against men that I am in any way interested in. That might be an overstatement, but like we're going to talk about 7-Year Itch, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and
How to Marry a Millionaire.
How to Marry a Millionaire. And in none of those is she paired up with anyone that I find that appealing. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of the characters they play as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure those are actors that had real careers that we can talk, someone can talk about. But on top of that, their characters are like 50s man. So I was interested in this mainly because Cary Grant is in it, and I kind of wanted to see if given someone more interesting to play against.
Yeah.
Because we're going to watch Niagara next week, and she's in that with Joseph Cotton, and I think she's great. And I'm really looking forward to seeing The Misfits, which I've never seen because Clark Gable is in it. And like, those are the kind of men I want to see her playing with.
Yeah.
But Monkey Business is very badly written.
Oh my God.
The serum has no rules.
Well,
they say it's making them youthful, but visually they're not turning youthful, and they're more acting drunk. And there are scenes that just feel improv, as like it's just like Ginger Rogers pretend you're.
it's like
I don't know.
It's like sometimes to pad movies, like scenes will go on a little longer. Like this is more a bad movie issue, but even in good movies, sometimes you'll see them pad a scene and you'll be like, oh, they probably didn't need that there,
Yeah.
but they wanted it there for timing reasons or something. And this movie is like that, except like turned up to 11. Like scenes just go on in this movie and nothing is happening. Like at least nothing new is happening.
And it's written by one of the writing credits is Charles Lederer. I don't actually know much about him, but he's also the writing credit on Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Spirit of St. Louis, the first Ocean's 11, which I don't know much about, but it is famous, Mutiny on the Bounty. So he's like
a working writer.
He's written stuff that's better that I've seen. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes we're going to talk about, I think, next or soon.
Yeah.
There are, it seems, 2 other writing credits or 3. So this went wrong in the writing. Like,
yeah.
There's
the thing is, this was also directed by Howard Hawks, and Howard Hawks directed Gentlemen Prefer Blondes,
and is like makes good movies. So it also is like proof that like when people talk about how good movies used to be.
This is
I think
somebody
anyone
who's
who's like
forgotten.
movies, yeah, anyone who says movies used to be better needs to watch this because
Yeah,
it's
that or
not.
the other movie we watched in the week, but we'll talk about that in our wrap up.
Well, I think I know which one you're talking about, and I think the problem of that is not, it's not a filmmaking problem.
Maybe not.
This is a filmmaking problem. This is
A
badly written.
Monkey Business. It's funny because like I'm trying to come up with things to talk about with this, and it's like I like Cary Grant. Like he's somebody like I don't really like Arsenic and Old Lace. I don't. He's in a number of comedy movies,
Yeah.
and like I'm not. I enjoy them, but they're just not things I think on that much or like really stick with me for whatever reason. But like he's in Arsenic and Old Lace, and he has some great timing in that, and some great faces and some great stuff. And in this, he is doing his best. And there's like,
well, that's the thing. Ginger Rogers and him, there's even some clever bits of dialogue, but it's around nothing. Like,
yeah, and like they have a little bit of chemistry too, considering how nothing their roles are. And it's just, yeah.
Well, and then let's talk about Marilyn Monroe in this movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, she's in it.
She plays a secretary who can't type, and probably the one good joke in the movie. Well,
yeah,
there's a few things, but is that, she comes in and she doesn't know how to type really, and when she leaves, her boss is like, well, anyone can type, but not anyone is, the implication being not everyone is Marilyn Monroe.
Right,
and
which is clever.
Eye capturing, and there's a scene with her and Cary Grant in a car having a
people spray water on her in one scene, and that's kind of cute and silly.
But there's actors can only elevate what they're given so much. Like, it's
funny because like in All About Eve, which we talked about last week, like she steals the like 2 scenes she's in. Like she is so and that's because I think Mankiewicz, who directed and wrote it, like gave her good dialogue and good things to do.
And she's also she's the guy who plays Addison DeWitt, who's a famous actor. Like that, she's
got someone to work with.
Yeah, like they play off each other really well.
Yeah.
And George Sanders.
Right.
They play off each other really well. And she and Cary Grant play off each other just fine, but there's not a lot more.
Yeah, and like this is different than in Asphalt Jungle. Like she shows up and like I know she's Marilyn Monroe, but if it weren't for that, like I wouldn't really care about that bit part she's in. She plays, she's the innocent in one scene, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But in this, like there is something there. Like if I saw this in theaters, and I like it were more modern or something, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of an interesting little part played by somebody. I wonder, who that is. I'd keep them in mind. Like there's a little bit more here. Like it's more noticeable than that. But still, she's got not a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, that, and then, so you should see this movie if you're a diehard Cary Grant fan, a diehard Ginger Rogers, a diehard Marilyn Monroe fan, or if you want to see old LA, because they drive around LA some. They even seem to be in Santa Monica at one point, which is our hometown. But there's really not much more to talk about with this movie.
Yeah. Oh, right. There's and I forget. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Wikipedia because I'm like, gosh, what does Wikipedia even say about this? And there's not much. But apparently Peter Bogdanovich wished that Marilyn Monroe had worked opposite Cary Grant. But also there's there's a scene where there's kids playing, I guess, cowboys and Indians, which I don't know if anybody plays that anymore. When I was a kid, we played, I think, Cops and Robbers, which also isn't really something you'd want to play anymore. There's some problematic notions even to that. And it's, it ultimately, this is a movie from, 52. So it's not like it's bad.
The past was problematic.
Problematic. This is problematic. And it's like, I'd even forgotten about that scene because it's just like...
Oh, I remembered it because it went on forever. And then they have the whole scene with the baby that doesn't make any sense against the rest of the movie.
No.
So I don't really want to talk about Monkey Business anymore. I say
I think we're
on
both
to something worth talking about.
Let's move on.
I would watch Asphalt Jungle over this way more.
I feel like I've won a small victory here or something.
Yes.